Instagram has rolled out some new updates. One of these updates are reposts. So Instagram now lets you reshare public reels and grid posts, just like a retweet or a TikTok share. You can also share this with optional commentary and automatic credit to the original creator. They also live in a brand new reposts tab on your profile, and they show up in your followers' feeds. The other thing they announced was an Instagram map. So this is a location sharing tool inside DMs that lets you share your real-time location with select friends or close groups. It's opt-in only with controls and parental supervision. And then finally, they also have expanded friends tabs in Reels. So you can see what your friends have liked, commented on, reposted, or created, and you can start conversations right from there and customize what appears. I was seeing some of the backlash to Instagram Maps. I don't know if you saw that, but I think there was some misunderstanding over how it really worked, because I think the misunderstanding came from the fact that you had to explicitly opt out. And so I think there were people who thought that meant that they were opted in.
Mm.
I don't think they were. I think that's a misunderstanding. So your location isn't being shown to everyone. You have to opt in for that. And
Wait, so you have to
yeah.
opt in or opt out? What happens if you do neither?
I think you're opted out, but it's not
Okay.
clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that should be something that they make clear.
Yeah, or like it's clear in the sense that you can see like where you are on the map, and I think you can see that it's like not sharing with anyone or something kind of like that. But it also doesn't explicitly say you are opted out of this thing. It's like the toggle for opting out is not selected. So, I mean, I went in and opted out because I don't have a need for that feature. That's not really my thing.
You're I don't want people to know where I am.
Yeah, or I mean, because I'm already using Find My Friends for the people whose location I do want to share my location with, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so when I first heard, I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm actually excited about this because I do want to know who's here in LA that I'm already friends with, and have it not be as I don't know. I feel like my Find My Friends is like for my family. And I have friends like when we're all going to like say like a bachelorette party and we're all going to be in the same location, we do it, temporarily. But I think for the rest of the time, I don't want to have it on. At first, I was confused about whether it allowed you to do it for like your close friends or if it was for everybody. But people are like, no, you can do it for your close friends. I'm like, great. In that way, I'm kind of excited about it. Like this is one of those things where it's like, I want to like socialize more with the people that I know and love, like I want to know what you're doing. And it's like, if it was easier to kind of know when like people are going to be here, and that they're like available, like that could be really cool. Like hopefully to create those like more spontaneous connections or like, the idea of like, kismet, serendipity. I think that more people want that. But definitely just the people that I like want, and not to be with like everybody. So I haven't turned it on, but I am curious about it. I just want to take the time to kind of like figure it out, and like go from there. So I think there's potential for it, but we'll see going forward.
That's really nice. I really like your take. Even though I do not share that feeling.
Yeah.
Don't want to do it.
You
but I think
also
that's
have
nice.
a lot more followers than I do. So you have a lot of people that like, are I'm still, a pretty small account. So that's kind of like in my mentality, the way I see it. But to be fair, I would probably do it for Twitter as well, just because like I know that I have like Twitter mutuals. There's people that I've met on there that I would want to know if I knew where they were and I knew that I was going there. But yeah, I'm a super extroverted person who would love to meet like more people. So maybe that's like the big difference as well.
Maybe it is. Yeah, no, maybe it is. Yeah. I mean, I like that. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm more the type that if I'm going to go to another city, I do reach out to people I know who live there, and I'll search in my Twitter feed, my LinkedIn feed, my whatever. Like, I'll search my social feeds to see like, am I forgetting anyone? So I actually do like think about that, and I will reach out to people. I hope they do the same for me if they're in my town, but mostly I don't like that. I don't like location sharing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Because I feel. maybe because I'm not, I don't plan ahead that much. I kind of just wanted to be like, hey, if it like
Mhm.
works, it works, you know? And then, you know, I've had where like people move and they don't update their location.
Mm,
And then you're just like, oh yeah, I'm not there anymore. And I'm like, oh, damn, like I thought I'd be able to see you. So
yeah.
yeah.
I do want to talk about quick, just to kind of reiterate a couple of safety and privacy implications
Yeah.
here. So it is indeed opt-in for the location sharing, and there are parental controls and teen safety measures built in. And then as far as that activity feed that I talked about, the expanded friends tab, you can also hide what you don't want to show. So users can mute activity, or you can choose to hide your likes, comments, or reposts from the friends tab. So you can customize that if if you want to. But let's also talk about some of the implications here. What does this mean for marketers or creators, right? I think one thing that's kind of interesting is that it does change how people can figure out how to tap into organic reach on social, right? Because a repost will act as a sort of mini promotion for your content.
Hmm.
So your content can reach followers of those who repost it, even if they don't follow you. So something to think about as you're creating for Instagram is think about the content you can create that's repostable, right? So you can do things like getting people to choose a side, tapping into a strong sense of emotion. I think this is where I think this is where tapping into how people self-identify, or like how they share their values, how they express themselves, and figure out how you can be a part of that. So, like I said, getting people to choose a side on something, like playing into some
Hmm.
kind of, yeah, maybe we could say lighthearted controversy, like
Mm.
like a sports game. Like, are you for this team or that team? You could think about tapping into
What are you talking
feelings,
about?
like,
Go into, did
yeah,
Sydney Sweeney mean jeans or jeans?
yeah, totally. Get people to choose that side. Um, if you thought this, maybe this, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of opportunity for that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. Think about, why would someone be proud to repost this publicly? And I think there's probably going to be similar intent as people who retweet things. Like, why do people retweet things? Usually it's some version of, I wish I said that. Like, I wish I came up with this, or I agree with this so strongly that I need to push it to everyone's feed. Or maybe it's a form of bookmarking. I know some people retweet to sort of bookmark things like on their page. Maybe that's the reason people might repost stuff. So I think that's interesting to think about.
Yeah, I love this because it's like I was already doing it like on my stories, right? Like
Hmm.
you could share on your stories, you know, content, and then obviously it went away after like 24 hours. So I like that this is a little more that it lasts longer, you know. I definitely see it as a, you know, Instagram trying to bring some of that magic from Twitter
Hmm.
and Threads onto Instagram, because Instagram is still their biggest channel. I agree with Amanda. It's like, how can you create content that people want to share?
Hmm.
I like that it's a separate feed. So it's not like you're just getting bogged down by, you know, all this like uh, traffic that's like not yours. Like if you just want to
Hmm.
follow your friends traffic, like, you know, that'll be there, and this is a different one. But it does remind me of like the old days of like Instagram, right, where you could see what they were liking and who they were following, and then they got rid of that, remember?
Yeah.
So it's funny that they're kind of, you know, reverting back to that in a slightly different way, of course. But
Yeah.
I think, you know, it kind of goes back to like, I want to know what my friends are liking, what they're doing, what content they're listening to. So I think for me, that's the kind of thing that you should be thinking about. Like, why would people want to share this? Like, is this a product that they love? Like, and are we making it easy for them to share? Because sometimes a lot of the content that you're posting on there, like, you're just kind of you're just posting up a product feature, or, you know, like a quote or something that, like, you know, it's like cool as like something that like I like, but I don't know that I would actually take the next step to like repost it, you know? So
Sure.
yeah, it's a good time to start testing things out, like what you would do, or the types of things that people would engage with a little bit more than they're used to.
Yeah. And I think, one other thing I'll be very curious to see is the implications this could or could not have on algorithmic feeds versus following feeds, right? Because there was a recent article that we saw that showed that Meta's data showed that only about 7% of Instagram activity was friend based. So what's
Mm,
interesting is that these changes, at least theoretically, make Instagram a lot more social and connected, because you will literally see the things that your friends are organically,
Hmm.
purposefully reposting. You'll be seeing your friend's location, obviously if they choose to share it with you.
Hmm.
Right? These are things that, for better or for worse, are rooted in some kind of connection, right?
Hmm.
Like, these are actions that individual users have to take or do. So I don't know. I mean, like, we'll see, right? But I think it's interesting to think about it as like, could this be a step towards Instagram being more social again
Yeah,
and
I mean,
not just an entertainment platform? I
no,
don't know.
definitely. I mean, because think about it. I've heard from so many people that are like, I don't post on my timeline anymore. I just do stories, right? And so most people are communicating in that way. Maybe, I've heard all sorts of reasons why, it's too commoditized, that your photos have to be too perfect, and people just don't feel comfortable posting as much as they used to, back in the day. Um, so this is a way for you to start sharing more about yourself and like content from you without the pressure of having to, make sure that your life is perfect and that you're, putting, creating nice, pretty pictures or videos of everything, right? I still don't think that like a lot of people are actually creating reels. I think that that still kind of remains a like brand and like creator type of content. So how are you kind of sharing the things that are of your interest for your friends to like still be involved in your life? So I think that that's a good way to kind of like, hopefully I honestly, I hope it works, because I do want to see more content from my friends. Like when I go onto Instagram these days, it's mostly from brands that I followed, like, way back when, news sources, or a bunch of like, suggested content, because my feed just doesn't, have content from like the people that I follow. And sure, I can go and try to follow more people, but just from the ones that I do follow, no one's really posting that much. So if now we can have a new way for my friends to post about their lives or like what they're, reading or doing or liking, then maybe I'll go back onto Instagram a little bit more.